All right, here we go. Here's another example. So if we look at this one here, it may not be obvious what to do, right? Because we have this times this quantity here, and then we've got these two terms. But if you notice something, you notice that we've got 2x minus 5 here, and we've got 2y minus 5 here, and we've got 2y minus 5 here. And so one of the things we could do is understand that there's an understood one that we can pull out, that we can do here with the second term. Because we've got this term, but then it looks like we've got the same thing. So if we put parentheses around this, right, now we can see, oh yeah, there's this term here and this term here. So what we do is we always say that there's an understood coefficient of 1. Because 1 times anything is equal to that thing. So we can look at this and say, okay, there's a 1 out here that we're multiplying by. And so now we can more easily see that there's a common factor. And the greatest common factor would be this factor here, because it's the only common factor, right, in both terms, right? Because there's the plus sign, right? So we've got this term, and the greatest common factor in both terms is the 2y minus 5. And so now we're going to factor that out. But remember, we've got to leave the 1 behind. It's not a 0. I get some students will do this. They'll factor out and they'll say, okay, we'll factor out the 2y minus 5. And then they'll say, okay, this is going to just be 3y because we just get 3y plus 0. That's not correct. We've got to remember the distributive property. We should be able to distribute and go back to the original problem. If we distribute here, it doesn't work. Okay? So, we need this 1. So it's going to be, what's left over is 3y plus 1. And so that is the correct form, factored form. Okay? And again, if you distribute this again between the two, then you're going to get back the same thing. If you multiply this by 3y, you get this. If you multiply this by 1, you get this. So it works. That's it.